IVM.
If you, like me, have no idea how to deal with your finances, then here's a cool suggestion for you. Check out Paisa Vaisa. It's a podcast where Anupam Gupta talks to financial experts and understands how to deal with various stuff like SIP, mutual fund, and all those short forms that most people don't know about. So new episodes are out every week on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Hello everybody, you're listening to Keeping It Queer with me, Navin
and Farhad.
Hi guys, welcome to Keeping It Queer.
Oh, it is.
It's been rolling. I know it's smart enough now. It's picked up on that. Welcome to Keeping It Queer, our very own little queer podcast that we host.
Queer and geriatric. We were just discussing spondylitis, diabetes.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, once you ever been to a Parsi birthday party?
That's a very specific birthday party to go to. But
Yeah,
I'd say
it's
yes.
a very specific thing to get invited
I have
to.
I had this friend called Hosnur or something like that.
Hoshnur, maybe. Yeah.
Back
No,
in the
I was in Bombay. My parents were like, hey, there's this uncle. You never meet him. He complains a lot. Why don't you go for his birthday party? So I decided to go. And there were like 80 plus Parsi people.
Nice.
And the cake comes. Okay, first of all, throughout the already before the cake, also the conversation was they like, Arey Bapre, this one died, this one is there, this one is in Parsi General Hospital, that kind.
Yeah.
And then the cake comes and it's a jam cake. You know what jam cake? That's the worst kind of cake.
Like, is it layered with jam or
It's
like...
got jam on top. Like those sastu cakes, you know, cycle pe bechta hai type. It was a jam cake.
It sounds very fancy though. I've never
No,
seen it.
it's fucking terrible.
In my mind, I'm like, fuck, yes, it's gym jam, but much bigger. You know what I'm saying?
No. It's a terrible. The icing is like pure, not even like the good kind of icing. Fuck, why did I start this story? But long story short, someone saw the
Geriatrics.
jam and then one person is like, I can't eat because otherwise my toe they just cut.
Yeah.
And then that toe cut, say another uncle started talking about his piles. And next thing you know, this entire birthday party was just about hemorrhoids, cancer, piles. So that's what we sounded like.
That's what it is. Like, even I went to my mom recently and we were talking this in general, and most of the conversation just circled around how every single member in our family is slowly collapsing. Like, my one uncle is like right now going through a court case, and he has a kidney fail also.
Oh shit.
So he has a dialysis bag with him when he's going to the court, like to give hazari and come back. And you know, one auntie has a chin issue, so she has to sleep away from her bed, like keep her head neck on a stool.
Yeah.
All of these things. So my mom is like, thank God we don't have this thing. Like, diabetic people are still fine.
No, my dad just calls me. He's like, Farhad, you remember Parvez? I'll be like, yeah. He'll be like, Khuda Hafiz. That's it. That's all he says. Khuda Hafiz.
Parvesh chal basi.
Khuda Hafiz.
But like, do you ever think the eventuality of it, like you won't have...
Like, will I die?
Not you, your parents eventually. But
Yeah, who doesn't think of that?
But
I think we discussed that in the first episode only.
Yeah, but like in the longer sense, like, you know, you never really delve on it, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, how will you feel about all of this?
I'll say 70% I worry about my parents dying and 30% I worry about me dying before them. Like, let's not leave that out.
That's for sure. I told my mom the same thing. Like, you know, like one of the biggest back answer I would have when we were like younger, she'd like, you just gonna kill me one day. I'm like, you won't die so easily. You'll take more people with you and die. And I would tell this to her.
God.
And she
My mom says that too, and I'll be like, no, you'll be one of those people who's like 108. You don't have a fucking wrinkle on you.
Yeah.
And you'll just be like, you'll just suck other people's blood to keep yourself alive. Sorry, mom.
But there was a very cute, Tik Tok video, which is a young boy and his grandmom. And they do like all these dub smash type videos. Where, And the grandmom was very involved, into all of this. I don't know if you've seen it. It's very adorable. If we are playing the video, we'll link it with this.
Sure.
And they do the Kolaveri D dance.
Okay.
And she's so adorable, dude. Like, and you know, like in India, like TikTok is like one of those things that is gone like to multiple hands, right? It's made like everybody a creator, so to say. And some people invest more time than the others making content. And in there you find like the good and the bad and the ugly always.
Always.
So let's discuss that today. How about that?
Sure, man. I am a huge fan of TikTok. I'm like, but for like, you know, the same reason I am a fan of Ramsey Brother movies or like that.
Exactly.
I don't know, there's something. So also sometimes it tends to be genius. Like, so I feel, this is the modern Vine, you know, because once Vine left, I had a void in my like
Everyone
soul.
did, yeah.
And somehow I feel sometimes TikTok gets there. Like, it gets to a point where I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking amazing. I've seen some TikToks like 50 replays, 60 replays in one go.
And even on YouTube, if you go, you'll find like TikToks that radiate the energy of wines. Like 20-minute compilations. And that's my life sometimes at night, just like doing that. You can't really replace wines because it was the era was also responsible for what we got
and
out
it's the
of
first
it.
time I feel like people could edit. People could. So I don't know. It just gave way to like a new genre of comedy in general, like quick slap, 6 seconds of fuck.
And like on Vine itself, like that I feel is the beginning of allowing a lot of creators who are just like people like us, and they can access it and make it their own. And a lot of queer people also, like, shown through it. Like a lot of Vine creators were trans people also at the same time, who were just like so full of life and lived their life. So and remember that Vine, like, boy, why you mad? Because my pussy pops and yours don't. And
No.
that's a Vine.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my god, this is hilarious, and I want to watch more of it. Like this one queer person who's just like, his whole thing is he wears wigs and just like does this thing around the house.
I know who you're talking about. That one I know. I follow him on Instagram. He's a very popular.
So if not for those people, we wouldn't have like early access to like understanding. At least we have a sense of humor about our lives. It's not like all passion and seriousness and everything. And we got to see that. And that's in a way now translated to TikTok as well, right? We have like people who are couples putting out videos and all around the world also.
But somehow I always feel like it's got some sort of a different kind of stronghold in India. I don't know how, but like those tier 2, 3 cities, where like I love seeing those like village TikToks without sounding elitist. But you know what I'm talking about? Like like I don't know how it's reached there, but
because Jio, right? Like its advent was around the same time when everybody was getting handsets with like
I did not
free.
know that.
The whole Jio's mission was like basically provide 4G connection to every khede gaon in India, right?
Okay.
In the realm of doing that, they also like BSNL is being like snuffed aside and all of that, and BSNL was the earlier onset. But Jio basically reached places where we could not have thought, like as an internet provider at least, and that made it very easy for several youngsters in these small parts who were either like spending time like watching porn on the on internet, or just like playing PUBG, for example, being in one of the points. But from there it's obviously graduated to them like now figuring out how to do certain things, like with songs also they're going crazy. There's some of them which are scary also. One guy just like was bursting bulbs on his head.
I know, I have that video. I put it up. This guy banging his head against a window to that popular Teri Pyari Pyari Do Akhiyan. I don't know how sometimes these songs just become so popular because of apps like TikTok and and all of that.
Like Lamborghini.
And I'm like, why do I fucking know this song? Like, but I know it because of them.
And therein like lies almost like this innocence where people are queer without realizing it. Have you noticed that? Like there's people
I totally get it. There are a lot of like bros who are like kind of
very
doing
emo.
Ladki chhod ke gayi par mera bhai mere saath hai type.
Like I remember this one where like there's a whole gang of boys sitting in the field and it's like मैंने अपने प्यार के लिए सब कुछ छोड़ दिया, घर छोड़ दिया, परिवार छोड़ दिया,
हम है ना.
And then the guy says उसने तेरे लिए क्या छोड़ी? Okay, I lose my shit at that itself. I was like, उसने मुझे छोड़ दिया. And then he falls down, dude, and they all like hold him and everything. And it's adorable.
They all have colored hair. I know what you're talking about.
But like, there's almost like a sense of camaraderie where it's unique, like you say that men are so and so, men are so stoic and they're masculine. There's no emotion. And these guys are generally like crying on video.
Skinny jeans, colored hair.
Especially if you follow this page, emo boys who cry passionately on TikTok India.
Boys who cry passionately on TikTok India. I follow them.
And emo
Have
boys.
You seen Reptiles of Kurla?
Jinx. Oh my god.
But what a great face.
So we laugh at it almost like out of knowing, like for example.
But I've seen when I'm on Twitter, especially, I see all these banned TikTok in India, and sometimes I've seen videos that made me also feel like that, right? I remember there was that same song, Pyari Pyari Do Kya, there's this girl who's like pulsating to the beat, and then there's this split screen, and there's milk flying on this boy's face. When I see shit like that, I'm like, but I've never thought that it's something that needs to, because it was banned, right? There was a ban on it. Now,
also, one of those videos was like, like a girl is in the split frame and the other guy comes in, closes the door, and like looks at her with lust and everything, and somebody in her screen has pulled her pallu off and it looks like he's done it. And that created quite a furore. And I understand where it's coming from. Obviously, like, the fact that something like this will trickle down in a country like India will obviously have different aspects to it. Like there will be creators with different mindsets, and for that reason, I don't think we should just like curtail it for everybody.
Absolutely.
It was banned for a while, came back again.
Because I see all these woke Twitter kids, you know, and them hating on something like TikTok. And I don't think nobody deserves that kind of hate, because I genuinely feel, why is your creativity, but someone in a fucking, like you said, what's Khedegaon, like type, why the fuck why they can't be creative, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you come across like sometimes just straight up gross or like weird videos, but I feel like everybody gets a chance to be that, whatever it is. And that's how movies are, that's how music is. There's bad music, terrible music, great music. I feel like TikTok is just, although we should also say like.
Yeah, like is like, that's where
like kind of has lots of cute boys, huh? Just saying.
I guess so.
You guess so.
I don't know, I've never been on like. I know the chai pillow auntie is there, so I don't want to be there.
No, so I have both on my phone. I don't use them. I've never created any content using either apps. But I do like what's happening. But in terms of filters, fucking like is really, their game is super strong. Okay. In fact, I'm surprised all these videos that we see, none of them use it. I don't know if you've seen this popular video of this granny going into a bathroom. She puts her foot into the commode, then she flushes.
Oh, yeah.
And then she twirls. Yeah, that's an effect on like, you know what I mean? Like, so how they use these filters to make content like funny. Amazing.
And that's like, we've come a long way
even
from
when in
not having
Avengers was out, I remember there was that Thanos snap, like sort of, you could just disintegrate, and I saw so many fucking funny videos, like mom's like aaj khane mein tendli hai, and this boy just disappears. Like,
and it's all about like, and I notice always, like, you know, almost always whenever these like new age apps that become like a norm in a few months, the gays have access to it first. Always, like almost we almost stumble upon the geniusness of, like, even Face app. Remember, like Face app, when they first started the whole.
I only heard of it. I never actually used it.
Right now, it's like everybody's turning themselves old. But last year or last year, it was like turn yourself into a girl.
It's so stupid. Yeah, this whole old thing. I'm seeing it everywhere.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't know. I'm finding it a little irritating.
So that's what I was observing it on Instagram, obviously, and
like we are all gonna die in a tsunami anyways. You won't even live to.
But this app is actually good. Yeah, I just feel like Face app, like the details it adds to like your face to make you look like your older version. It's almost like
there's other things also it does. I'm sure.
You have to buy like a paid membership for like getting different effects on your face. But the first one that they became famous for was the male to female one, where like even if you had a beard, it would immediately make you look like a girl.
Sure.
And like everybody ran to it, like almost not knowing that everything that they hated about like the whole male female dichotomy was being busted at the same time.
My favorite of this particular filter that you're talking about, male to female, is all the duet songs, like Promiscuous Girl, but one guy singing as the guy or a girl. I just love those whole range of videos that came out that time.
And Snapchat got that feature afterwards, I think. Before was Face app, and then Snapchat introduced the whole.
I've used it on Snapchat.
So this guy basically goes on the other side of the frame, becomes a boy, comes back, becomes a girl. And so it's like gender bending happens without even knowing about it. And that's a cool thing. Like this one guy on TikTok India, this is this chubby guy, and he's like full on dances to like all these item numbers.
I love him.
All that fucking time. He's amazing. And I've seen people like really gang together and watch it together and enjoy it and not judge him for that one moment.
That's the thing, right? Especially this particular person. Now the thing is, whatever you're saying, I don't know the handles or names of these people, but I know who you're talking about. And I remember the first thing I thought when I saw his videos, I found one of it. Then usually I find them on Twitter or Instagram. So if the video is amazing, I see their username, and since I have the apps, I go look up their pages.
Yeah.
And this particular large boy, healthy boy, dancing to these songs. Chubster. My first thought was, fuck, I'm so happy that this guy would have been, if he's at a shadi and he's doing this, he would have been so easily mocked. But here in his room, he's allowed to be who the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I just felt like he's got an outlet to be that.
No, but like I was that kid at weddings, dude. Like where if I would just like let go of myself, Nagin dance, and all of that shit. Like, have you seen Catholic wedding functions, like where the dance happens?
No.
I mean, like we dedicate, like no matter what happens in Catholic weddings, we make sure that 2 hours are clearly restricted for dancing, Everything else food can happen afterwards.
Okay.
The bridegroom and couple can fuck themselves,
Oh.
do whatever, but we want the floor, we want to drink and dance. So
Can you tell me something? Catholic wedding, since you're talking about it, is there something called, what's pani?
What?
You know what pani? It's like, I don't know. I saw two different couples. The album's name was Elston's Pani.
Oh, I think it's Rose.
Basically, where the guy dresses up as a girl, the groom dresses up as a girl. You know what I'm talking about? Is this a certain sect
Catholic
of Christianity
in
which?
No idea.
You know what? Later on, I don't know if anyone
this
listening
fucking Eyes
knows
Wide
what
Shut cult you're following.
No, man, this is a thing like all the boys, not even just the main groom.
You know, in India, Pani Nikal Jana is coming, right?
I don't know who that is. What? He's
like
a cricketer.
when you come, it's the act of ejaculating is called Pani Nikal Jana.
Oh, pani nikal raha.
In rural India. So I don't know what Pani you're referencing to.
No, yeah, I think it's like Roka.
Okay.
Like how they have Roka. I saw a Facebook album and I've seen it twice in my life. And I know one friend whose account I can find it on and I'll forward it to you later.
Sure.
But basically...
Can't wait.
I think it's PANI, and basically what happens is all the groom and all his groomsmen, they all dress up as women. Okay, and this is some sort of tradition. I don't know if it's like an Anglo-Indian thing,
possibly East Indian, I don't know.
I don't know. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, to our listeners, if any of you all are unfortunately a part of this ritual, reach out to us.
It looks very random and it looks like an episode of Pose.
There are certain weird customs in Catholic weddings that are out of the blue. For example, this one suitcase ceremony that happens in East Indians, where basically the bride gets her suitcase to the wedding, right? For her to take it to the groom's house.
Shut up.
So one family member will then open it and start flashing whatever she has in her. So at one point, there are drunk men at one corner, and this remember clearly wedding.
You're saying this has happened at more than one wedding?
Yeah, where this bra and one auntie is flashing it and everybody's like, "Ha, kona cha?" And they're like, "Ha, hamsa," all of that. It was berserk. I was still a child, but I remember there was panty being waved in a wedding, dude. It was insane. So yeah, we take our functions and our customs really seriously, apart from whatever you suggested.
Parsi weddings are just... on repeat, they play Boy George, Kama Chameleon.
I love that song.
Yeah, but after 3 times, you're like, okay, I'm done with this song. And it's 3 times they play that, and 3 times they play pa 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 pa. I don't know, chicken dance? What is it called?
Birdie
dance.
Yeah.
They play that. I actually once at a wedding saw an auntie go down in the birdie dance part, and she keeled over because she got a lock in her back, and there was an ambulance that had to be only at a Parsi wedding.
And again, there's some inkling of that. Every Catholic wedding also closes with that. Again, whatever. Birdie dance and the boogie woogie by default.
Okay.
Do the
boogie woogie.
Yeah. That's staple again. And then you can check out. Then you can
wait, what's the other part? Do the boogie woogie. What's...
And that's what it's all about.
Put your right leg in.
Right neck.
Right leg?
Right leg in.
Left leg out.
No, okay, wait, you sequentially. You put your right hand in, you put your right hand out.
Okay.
Put your left hand in, left hand out.
Okay.
Right leg in, right leg out. Left leg in, left leg out.
Right tit, left tit.
Yeah. Then you right testicle in, right testicle out. And that's what it's all about. Alright, let's take a small break at this point. We're still keeping it queer, and somehow we're talking about boogie woogie. Boo!
Hey everybody, welcome to another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. The greatest place on earth to work on. If you're interested in working with us, please do send us your resume, careers@indusvox.com. We're looking for people in business roles. We're looking for people in creative roles. We're looking for audio engineers, graphic designers, all kinds of things. So please do apply. Also wanted to ask everybody, please tell a friend about your favorite podcast on the IVM network. We really do depend on your word of mouth. You are our biggest ambassadors, and we'd really, really appreciate all of your support. Also, if you are enjoying what you listen to, take a screenshot, tag us on social media, and we will repost that. On The Scene and the Unseen, Amit Verma is joined by journalist Namita Bhandare to talk about the job crisis for women in India. On the final episode of the Ronnie Screwwala podcast, we do a Q&A where Ronnie answers questions sent in from listeners as well as other podcast hosts from the IVM network. On Marbles Lost and Found, Avanti and Zan talk to therapist Ishita Pateria about eating disorders and how to deal with them. On the Edges and Sledges Cricket podcast, Ashwin and DJ are discussing the women's and men's Ashes, the slate of cricketers retiring, India's performance versus the West Indies, Dhoni's contribution to the Indian Army, and a lot more. Last week, we released the season finale of the first season of Equity Sahi Hai. Tune into the show to listen to fascinating and insightful conversations about equity and various sectors in India you could invest in. The last 2 episodes feature special guest Ramdev Agarwal, co-founder of the Motilal Oswal Group. Check those out to learn more about his inspirational journey. This show was brought to you by the Motilal Oswal Asset Management Company. On IVM Likes, IVM staffers Abbas Saishri and debutant Antarik sit down to discuss their go-to pop culture during the monsoon. On our Kannada podcast Thale Harate, Professor Zabiullah and Shant Kumar Patil talk to Pavan and Surya about the Dakni language and its history. On 9XM Soundcast, host Eva Bhatt is joined by an Indian-Canadian singer, Jonita Gandhi. She started her music career by singing covers on YouTube, and they discuss her journey from Canada to Mumbai, people who supported her, and how one should deal with trolls and negative comments on social media. On Paperback, hosts Satyajit Roy and Rachita Sharma are joined by the writer and creative editor, Himali Kothari. She discusses the process of meticulously writing and rewriting a story. And with that, let's get you on with your show.
Welcome back to Keeping It Queer, everybody. And here we are, Farhad and I, talking about Tik Tok and the lack of hypermasculinity almost.
Yeah.
In an age of people being too masculine.
Like no, yaar, I matlab, mera personal experience, I don't feel. I get it. Mm-hmm. It's come to the fore, like to call out hypermasculinity, so I feel like it's that visible. Mm-hmm. But I feel like aajkal, what's your gaydar like nowadays? Is it good?
It's always been good.
Lately, I find it tough. Also because I've always skewed towards more straight boys, so nowadays अरे ज़ारा का टी शर्ट फ्लोरल प्रिंट मतलब गे है कि नहीं है मतलब bird cage no bird cage I don't understand.
What's a bird cage?
You've not seen the movie Bird Cage?
I've seen the movie Bird Cage, but like what
reference? You've seen all the shirts in...
Oh, like those Malibu, Florida.
This is something so like... All the shirts, they're the gay shirts.
They've come in now. I think most of the boys are watching Queer Eye and improving also, for sure.
I think once Zara came to India, I feel like suddenly I just felt like my gaydar broke a little. Yeah. After that, I couldn't like suddenly...
It made it accessible for like everybody in general. And like, but even if you go to like Instagram and you get these ads now, it's almost like my Instagram also knows I'm gay. Like, you know, they'll suggest these floral patterns and like these very weird, like they almost know that I also like only like half sleeve, you know, shirts. So again, like that brand of things only they'll show me. And I'll go there and I'm like,
I think that's just based on your browsing history.
That's true.
Like the other day, I looked up lunch boxes. I want a good lunch box. And all the colors, I was like, do they know me or what? Like,
dude, the other day I was just thinking about Imagica, and Imagica's ad came. So there's a central processing unit in my brain sending signals. But how do you feel about technology now going forward? Like, do you think...
Black Mirror.
Yeah, Black Mirror has
No, I'm not scared. I used to be. I was very briefly a technophobe. Only because... I'm an extrovert to a certain point. I was an extrovert till a certain point in life. And then once the internet happened to the extent that it has happened now, I felt like, oh my God, how much of an extrovert can I be? So that was a little debilitating in some sense. Now I'm fine. Now I'm an ambivert. I felt like internet and technology in that sense sort of... I feel like great things are happening all the time with technology. I have a friend who's... mom, Neville Bhandara, shout out. His mom recently made a machine that makes water out of thin air.
Okay.
Like right here in Bombay, she's made a machine. So I feel like there's great things that are happening in technology, whether it's like in medicine and all. Although, is that what you're talking about? Or you're talking about apps?
In general, like apps included, like everything that we...
Yeah, honestly, it's great. What's not... It's... I feel like apps... A lot of times, my friends, they make fun of me for how much I'm into, I know every new app that's out there and how much I depend on apps. Whether it's for intermittent fasting, I have an app that tells me when to eat, when I'm supposed to start fasting. I'll give you an example. I'll show it to you right now. I have a horrible nail biting problem. I got an app and I've actually grown out nails after I got this app. It kind of, so you know, I feel like...
Your fingers are really like weirdly pale. Like there's no hair over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it looks like a CGI hand almost.
Hereditary. I don't have hair on the back of my knuckles, but long story short, I feel like it's a great way. Whether it's reminding you to drink water, even like basic things, right? I have an app, like an alarm clock. You know, everybody hates the alarm clock. I have one called Sleep Timer. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Fuck, I have been waking up so beautifully for the past couple of years now, not even months. In fact, I tell everyone, I've seen friends fucking 6:15, 6:30, 6:45,
That's
7
me.
a.m.
Yeah.
You know, fuck. I've never like failed with sleep timer. I just wake up beautifully. I don't have to turn my phone off first thing, frankly.
Can you tell us what it is in general?
Basically, you have to use it for a week
Mm-hmm.
before it starts working. But what it does is every phone nowadays has an accelerometer, and what you do is you put it beside you. Let's say you want to wake
Oh
up.
yeah, I tried this after you only told me last year.
So 7:30 you have to wake up. What it does is at 7 for the first week it calculates when. It's a little scientific, but everyone has an REM cycle.
Yeah.
Different sleep cycles.
That's
and
me in the corner.
and basically deep sleep is when you actually find rest. Okay. So what it does is it's sort of based on how much you fidget and move. It kind of starts gauging how much time of like deep sleep you're getting.
Yeah.
And then between 7 to 7:30 when you have to wake up in the morning, the moment you move even a little, it knows you're not in deep sleep. So it makes a small blip or a small chirp or a small sound. So it actually lulls you out of sleep. It doesn't wake you up with a sound or tone or anything.
Yeah.
And I find that amazing. I literally always wake up naturally and I'm like, oh, okay, it was sleep time, I guess. Like,
yeah, that's one thing I feel like I did not appreciate enough as a kid is sleep. For sure.
Yeah.
Like even I remember like just transitioning from 4th grade to 5th grade when morning schools happened for me in 5th grade.
Yeah.
I told my mom like my life's gonna change now, and my mom laughed at me for 10 minutes. She's like, you think this is life changing? Wait till you grow up. And that obviously like over the time.
Yeah.
So for me, alarms have always been jarring and obnoxious sounding things.
Yeah.
Like for the longest time, washing powder Nirma was my ringtone. Okay, and
who the fuck wants to wake up to that?
me. But here's the best part, okay? I don't know if I've done this story before, but I must have done some other podcast. That's Anuj laughing because he knows I forget where I say things anymore. So we were at a church camp, okay? This old church called RC Church in Khandala.
Okay.
And it's like a proper British era built church, and there's ghost stories also involved around this. Like the battlefield where the church is was basically there were people fighting war.
There were people fighting in Lonavala at some point.
Khandala at some point. Yeah. Some shit went down over there. There's a placard which explained everything. Okay. We're like cool. And so all night, boys in one dorm, and we were like rattling people's, bunk beds, putting toothpaste in their pants or whatever. Like all of that shit happened. Saying that one person sucked somebody else's dick, people just like jostling around. And at around 2-3, everybody fell asleep. And 8 o'clock, we're supposed to wake up to go to like pray on some church property. It was called the Rosary Garden apparently, because the entire garden is like 10 bees of the rosary and then whatever. Catholics don't have much creativity. But
don't say that. My favorite Goan sausage is the rosemary. What is it? Rosary sausages?
yeah.
I love those, man.
They're called lingis though, actually.
Ooh.
That's a culturally appropriated. Anyways, so now we go there. But before we even wake up to go to the Rosary Garden, we have to wake up, right?
Okay.
And my phone is the only alarm that's really kept.
Okay.
So washing powder Nirma starts playing at 7 in the morning. And in my arrogance, I just like flick my phone and it falls on the ground. And I'm on the third bunk of a bunk bed, okay? And I've gone to sleep. Now the entire thing is, the whole church is made of rocks, okay? It's like a very acoustically sound nice church property. And the phone went off, washing powder Nirma in the entire campus. And everybody's just like, I could hear like a range of go from every bed, and they're like, "Band karo yaar," and nobody knows where it's coming from. And someone finally found the phone and shut it down. And that was the last day I kept it as a ringtone. But over time, I would just keep more annoying noises. Like,
trust me, stop doing that. You'll be way happier.
But now, like,
because even I have friends who have kind of ringtones because they think that wakes them up.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, you know how there's aromatherapy.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes when your house smells nice, there's a certain effect it has on your mood. Light, like, how the light is in your house, it affects your mood. Trust me, the right alarm can really change your life.
Dude, one of the guys I dated, like, I stayed with him like for 3-4 days. And this guy's alarm clock was what, like an atom bomb plant would like have. Like, if you watch Chernobyl, like when the thing goes down,
oh my god!
I was in a deep sleep only. Like I was 8 a.m. I'm probably sleeping. I'm like, where the fuck is this happening? Should I run out?
That's not healthy at all.
Like I ran to the door naked and then I realized, okay, it's not something wrong. I just
straight out of Clockwork Orange. It's like, dude,
it's a nightmare. But yeah, so that's how I feel about technology. Like
That's how you feel about
I just feel like
technology.
you have to compromise at some level, right? Like even now, I have to wake up every morning 9:30 by default to fill water. Okay, that's
Yeah.
my life right
Yeah.
now. And just like the other day,
Oh, you live in one of those places.
exactly.
Oh, fuck.
Wow, look at you judging me so hard.
No, I'm
right
not
now.
judging you. I was in that sort of situation once.
Those
It was a
places.
nightmare because like sometimes you've gone out clubbing, you partied, and then suddenly you are out and
Yeah.
still it's morning, you've not come back home, and the only thing you're stressing about, yaar, pani nahi bhara, aaj pani nahi. Fuck, that's such
Pani.
a...
Pani is a recurring theme.
Oh my God.
But no, like by default, even if I come home after partying at 5 a.m., by 9:30 I'm up.
Oh my God.
Just
Pani.
to do this. And you know, my idea is I'll fill the water, turn the flap off and go back to sleep and get more rest before I go about my entire day.
Yeah.
But I almost never go back to sleep. And sometimes if I do go back to sleep, I forget to turn the liver off. So
my
thrice has happened where my tanki just like overflows and I wake up at 11, both the cats are next to me on the bed. I'm like, why are you motherfuckers here?
Yeah.
And then I put my leg on the floor and now I'm just like in a puddle. And I've had some crazy
Bombay life.
yeah,
man.
then like taking a dustpan to just like swoop,
God.
and one of the days, okay, I had to go and teach improv to kids in the morning, okay, and this happened the first week I moved into the apartment, and I had no idea this was going to happen. It happened. I'm doing this, and like I'm putting water out of the apartment, and my leg slips, okay, and I fall pachak into the thing, like whole body just like wet. My phone's almost like no batteries there in my phone, and people are calling me. I have no idea what's happening, and then I realize I'm late, and I run there, and the kids are just like giving me attitude for like being fucking bandra kids. But I just remember like I finished the workshop. I had to put a brave front, you know. I'm like I'm a teacher today. I'm going to do this.
Professional.
Improv ho gaya. And while walking from the workshop to my house, I just wept on the entire way back, dude. From the workshop to my house, I just cried. I'm like, why is my life like this? Why I leave home?
This is Bombay does this to you.
Yeah. But then like in some beautiful way you'll find resolution also to all of this, you know. Like I'd rather.
That's the thing. Especially when you said technology and specifically apps. I feel like I have apps that have really changed so many things, whether it's Headspace for my anxiety, Calmly, another app I just fucking
Calmly
love.
is nice. I've tried that.
Whether it's writing apps for me to write on, everything like just amazing.
Even this app lock thing you were only showing me, right? Like where you lock your Instagram for like 2-3 hours.
App timer, basically. Yeah. If you are using a certain app too much and if you want to like put a restraint on it, you can do that.
Like I have been on Instagram so long nowadays, like it's like you're all caught up. Just like stop doing this. Ho gaya tera.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like every time you're fresh to just see one more person's story for no reason.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I also feel I have a lot of friends who are like beyond, like 40 and all. For them, it's very hard. Like I'll give you an example. Yesterday, this guy suddenly goes like, "Yaar, ye radio hai na, why the fuck are there podcasts?" You know what I mean? That's the first thing he said. And the way he said it only, you just are like, should I try to convince this guy why he's being stupid?
Where was he?
In office.
I got it.
In office.
Office.
And then I was like, basically, I'd not have to break it down to him. I was like, what's the difference between television at home and Netflix? Right?
Yeah.
You choose what you want to watch on one, and the other, whatever is playing, you watch.
it,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the fucking difference. And I feel like podcasts are a great way to get smarter. Yeah. If I already like, let's say, astrophysics.
And Jackie Shroff.
And Jackie. Yeah, I wish if Jackie Shroff had a podcast. Bidu.
We should make it happen. Bidu times.
Bidu. No, he's the man of few words. A word. He just says one word. Bidu, plant, bidu.
I would pay to listen to him do that all day long.
Yeah. Fuck. What is this conversation today? Like, what has happened?
It's an enigma. What? But I think there's a Jackie Shroff is an enigma, is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm suddenly thinking of him running in his underwear in Rangila.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. That was quite a thing.
Fuck, it was like watching a giant radish. But I don't know why. Like, you know those sprouty radishes? Oh,
Yeah.
It was so weird.
But then like Anil Kapoor and Jackie Shroff made the mustache thing happen. I feel like in Bollywood at least.
Yeah.
The Southmate was already famous.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, actually, when you say it like that, no, there used to be the pencil mustache in Bollywood. You know what I'm talking about? I still have one uncle who does that.
Johnny Walker types.
It's just like a pencil on
Yeah,
top of
it's
your lip,
lips,
and
yeah.
you just shave the upper part of
That's
your
the
mustache.
worst thing, dude.
Fucking disgusting.
Gross.
My least favorite thing is a soul patch. You know what a soul patch is?
Yeah.
Guys have like a shaved face, but this giant triangle which Dil Chahta Hai, I think is responsible for.
Yeah.
He just has this fucking, looks like a fucking
The
pedophile.
joke in Modern Family where Phil says, I once had a soul patch. And the guy says, it's like the fucking bear took a crap. That's what a soul patch is.
No, I once heard someone say, it looks like a pedophile standing outside a school gate. Like, and I really haven't met a more.
Yeah.
Like, that's the perfect. This is just, you're clean and there's just this little thing under your lip.
Amir Khan from Dil Chahta Hai types.
But he actually started it. And on him it was okay, but then some of them.
Got creepier.
Yeah.
Anyway, so with that, I think we should end this conversation.
Yeah.
And dude, one last TikTok video I should reference. It's like in this Churchgate Virar local train, there's three dudes who look like Salman Khan and Shah Rukh Khan, and they do this whole like Duniya mein kitni hai nafrat, and they're all dancing, and one guy is almost falling out. Okay, he's very scared, and it's so bizarre, but like so adorable. I think it's like the fact
My favorite are the ones where the girl's broken someone's heart, and then there's bro-ship. That's a type. It's not a certain one video, one song to which they played out. There are many videos in which, like, you know, there's one I've seen, this guy's hugging this girl. Okay, and another guy comes to say hi to the girl, but that guy just stops him. The girl can't see the other guy, and that guy first gives him his wallet, like, go. Then he gives him his mobile phone, go, but just let me have this hug. I'm like, fuck, this is emotion, like rickshaw wala emotion. You know that how rickshaw walas have a standard playlist which is like fucking has to be, the criteria for rickshaw albums are heartbreak.
Not
only that, it's just like that. Also sometimes it's that T series Bhojpuri kind of, but even that's a breakup song. And yeah, I love TikTok videos that are like
awesome.
that.
So, dear listeners, do send us your favorite TikTok videos. You can send it to me at House of Narona or send it to Farhad at Farhad Karkaria.
On Insta. In fact, on Instagram, you know, there are highlights. I have one dedicated to my favorite TikToks.
Yes, go
like
check
all my
it out.
favorite TikToks.
For sure. And do reach out to us if you have any queries about queer life. This is a part of it. I just feel we should talk about TikTok and, you know, and portray the fact that there's also an alternate space where people can be creative and not be toxic in a way. And let's not hate on it. Let's all have a good time on TikTok.
If you don't like it, don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
Go to like.
Yeesh.
Bye, friends.
Bye.
Chai pi lo.
Every week comes a show where three people come together to tell you about stuff they like. A movie, a TV show, a book, and other stuff. Tune in every Monday on the IVM Podcast app to IVM Likes. Batman approves this message. Thank you, Batman.
Family businesses get a bad rap. At one time, they were looked down on for getting rich, for being too ambitious. Today, they're still looked down on, but for not being ambitious enough. Not agile enough, not modern enough, too traditional in their mindset. The biggest brands and business houses in the country started out as humble family businesses. It's the way India has done business. Join Sonu Bhasin in conversation with stalwarts of Indian family businesses on the Inheritors podcast series by Bloomberg Quint. Discuss the highs and lows, the needs and pressure points of building a business legacy that spans generations.